I'm Corbett Wall with DV Auction, here with your feeder flash for Wednesday, April the 17th. Maybe a brighter summer. I hate to get too excited over one day of the board consistently higher, but your out fronts, especially in your summer months, have just been not falling as bad when your nearbys fall and gaining a little more whenever the nearbys gain, and slowly but steadily it's starting to look like maybe this summer's not going to be as bad as what we thought. We know we've got a lot of cattle on feed. We've got a lot of cattle that's going to be ready during the dog days of summer. That does not normally bode well at all. But we've got August live cattle contracts up well over 119 now. It wasn't very long ago where most people, including me, we're wondering if we could hold $1.10 during the hottest part of the summer. If you don't think you can do that, there's a lot of money to be gained there. You look at your fall, late summer and fall feeder cattle contracts, they're well over 160, 161 now. And I don't know if we can hold those levels or not, but it can't all be due to the China pork crisis, but it's got to be more to it than that. Let's look at the board for Tuesday. April live cattle futures up 85 cents to end the day at 127.15. All the deliveries that were pending were demanded on Tuesday, and that is a positive. That means that who else would demand them but a packer, and they think that this deal could get a little better maybe, or they want them at that price. So not too bad a deal there as far as those deliveries, and the threat of delivery is what keeps that market healthy in your live cattle contract. That's why you have so much more open interest there than you do on the feeder cattle. But June live cattle contracts up 97 cents at 122.45. I mentioned August, it was up a flat dollar at 119.32. April feeder cattle unchanged at 145.67, and May up 17 cents at 151.20. Your fat cattle trade has been extremely quiet after kind of a light trade last week, but a kind of an encouraging weighted average, as I noted on the earlier visit, that our weighted averages were more higher than what we thought they were, and it didn't seem like last week was a higher market, but it will take the small victories when we can get them, especially whenever we're looking to be in a down market. But with a little bit of help, should have been a lot more help, but a little bit of help from all the weight that's been lost in the floods and in the bitter cold winter, and a little more help with this China deal, and which has not really come to fruit yet for beef, but we still think it's going to be a positive in the long run. But we're starting to see a little bit of positives in there, where maybe 3 or 4 weeks ago we just thought we were going to drop like a lead balloon. But we didn't have hardly any sales on Tuesday. A few in Iowa, just a few loads there at 129, which would be awful good if we could keep that. About 350 head in Nebraska at 126.50. So you're seeing a big disparage between the prices in the northern plains, which is trading at a premium to what the southern plains market is, and for obvious reasons. But let's look at a sale barn. I love sale barns. Stockman's Livestock in Yankton, South Dakota on Tuesday had their fat cattle auction. They have a good local demand there for fat cattle. It's in the northern plains. They're needing cattle that aren't promised to anybody else. Good place to get them is at a sale barn. Most of the fat cattle on hand bring from 127.25 to 132.25, with some drug-free cattle up to 135.25. And it's good to see that price discovery is still alive on fat cattle in an auction market where people bid as long as they want to, and they're bidding against somebody else that wants the cattle too, and you don't see that very often in your fat cattle arena anymore. Box beef cutout values on Tuesday afternoon were higher on choice at 232.05. That was up $1.07. Selects was about steady, down just 7 cents at 121.15. And we are seeing a widening of your choice select spread, almost $11 on Tuesday afternoon, as your middle meats continue to gain ground with upcoming grilling demand, people mostly just wanting steaks. But look at your slaughter. So far, it's good for the week. We haven't seen any problems there. 242,000, up 2,000 from a week ago, and up 6,000 from the same week a year ago. Look at some of your feeder cattle markets. Your real-time index on Cattle Market Central late in the day on Tuesday sitting at 144.52. That was up 34 cents compared to late Monday. Look at some of your sales. OKC West, El Reno. We've noted how in central Oklahoma just not a lot of cattle moving. Only 1,500 head for the calf sale. They did not call a trend on those, just said there was a higher undertone. Ozarks Regional Stockyards, West Plains, Missouri, 2,700 head there. Good sales. Steer calves 4 to 7 higher. Heifer calves steady to $5 higher. Feeder steers didn't have a good comparison from a week ago, but if you did compare the prices that were there, $5 to $7 higher. Feeder heifers were not well tested. Look at an individual quote out of West Plains. 53 head of 736-pound steers bring 160.5, and that is really close to the Arkansas line, guys. Another individual quote out of Fredonia, Kansas. 66 head of 772-pound steers bring 152. That's a good price on that, with some steers weighing almost 800 pounds. And now let's talk about an area of the country that I know very well, northern Missouri. A lot of really good backgrounders there, and they're buying good quality calves and backgrounded them, making top quality, mostly all black-hided yearling feeder cattle at all times of the year when you need them. Look at a couple sales that had some good strings of them. Kingsville Livestock Auction, West Central Missouri there. The Varner cattle from Odessa, Missouri. 346 head of them. They were sold in 3 groups, but I'm going to give you the average. 346 good yearling steers, 898 pounds at 144.10. And go north and east of there, almost up to the Iowa line. Unionville Livestock Market. Rockin' R Farms from Lucerne, Missouri, had their cattle in there, had 3 loads of top quality backgrounded yearlings there. 180 of them weighed 874 at 146.45 on the average. And that's your feeder flash for Wednesday.